Welcome, everybody, to our Week 4 Perry's Inside Scoop, brought to you by the official ice cream of Syracuse Athletics. Always good to have a bowl of Perry's by your side as you might watch or listen to the Orange, and they take on Liberty, 8 o'clock Friday night. Coach Dino Babers is with us as always. And Coach, first of all, the stage. Yes, it's ACC Network, but the idea of having all the eyeballs in college football, there's only a few games now on Friday night. You've had pretty good success over the years on Friday, and you always talk about how neat it is for the guys to have the only game going.
We were talking about it today at practice, and all the players that they played with in high school are going to get a chance to see them. All their buddies that are in college or sitting in a hotel somewhere. It's Friday night. They're getting ready for their games on Saturday, and they're going to get an opportunity to see them. But also, what people don't realize, it's also the exact same way with coaches. Coaches on Saturdays are working, and they're not thinking about anybody but their own game. But on Friday night, everybody that you've ever worked with in your entire career is sitting here and watching either your position or watching your team play, and you'll get text messages from all of them by the time the game's over. I'm
visualizing you about 2 a.m. with your stir fry, and as you talked about, it kind of goes up in luxury depending on how the game goes, right? So there's a lot on the line here, and this is a big start to the weekend.
You know, fried noodles is always good after the game. That's always a good sign.
All right, so let's see if you can get some of that going and maybe class it up with some shrimp and that type of thing if you're 3-1 coming out of this. Before we get into Liberty, kind of the idea of your team, you know, Sean Tucker, astonishing to me that he didn't get some more recognition for the week that he had. He's not a guy who really seeks it out. He's so workmanlike, right? Is that kind of the tone you get from him, that he's want to give credit to the line and that type of thing? But the numbers he put up, albeit against Albany, were incredible production that portends well for the rest of the way.
You know, Sean reminds me of that old commercial, that Timex. He just keeps on ticking. You know, he's very, very unselfish. He's a team player. He's going to always give credit to his offensive linemen, but the really cool thing is it's not lip service. He really means it. But I'll tell you what, that young man, don't give him anything. That's okay. Don't give him anything, because he'll earn everything that he deserves.
Quarterback-wise, certainly that's the common sexy topic around here because it just has lingered, right? You haven't picked a person. As you look back on it, why do you think it was close or difficult to choose, and what's the latest there?
You know, I just think the biggest thing is that we want both of those quarterbacks to understand that we can win with either one of them. What we're looking for something way above average. And we want them to really go out and take control of the racing car. And hey, if you bang it up a little bit on the walls, that's because you're letting it run full throttle and you're not laying on the brakes. And we're just still kind of trying to wait for somebody to take that thing by the horn and really run with it. But we like both of them. We think we can win with both of them, and we're glad they're both here.
Regardless of who's at quarterback, Coach, I know that the deep ball has been a big part of it. Tommy throws a great deep ball, and Taj Harris catches a great deep ball. He was unavailable for you against Albany. Where are you with the receiving core injuries and otherwise in terms of what you have available there? Damian Alford flashed in the Albany game, and so you obviously need to have some counters behind Sean Tucker.
You know, we're a little banged up, to tell you the truth, and you know, we got some guys, and when you see in the game, some guys may be there, some guys may not be there, and before everybody says, where's so-and-so and how come you're not playing them, is that the Albany game was a tough game. We had a bunch of guys in the training room. We got some guys that may or may not be with us on Saturday.
That physical nature is only going to be more part of the game the rest of the way, correct? That on paper, Albany would be the least physical team that you're going to play. After Liberty, you're in conference games the rest of the way, and clearly Liberty's no joke with the personnel they have, the transfers, and now there's some familiarity. This is the first opponent you have on this year's schedule that you played a year ago. What do you take out of that game, Coach? And obviously, you haven't invoked the phrase Lamar Jackson this week, but I know Malik Willis draws some of those comparisons, and his dual threat nature can give you nightmares.
One thing about Mr. Willis, he doesn't have to jump over people. He can just run through them. So I'm not sure I'd go Lamar Jackson on him, only because Lamar can jump over and run around, but Willis can definitely go through him. He's a special quarterback. He can throw the short ball, he can throw the deep ball. He's definitely the team leader, and he's the straw that stirs the drink for Liberty, along with head coach Freeze and that staff and the great job they do. So we understand that we've got a really good player. All the NFL scouts will be out here to see them and the seniors on our team, and it's going to be a heck of a game.
Do you feel good, Coach, about your team at this stage here? You can't get the Rutgers game back, but 2-1 and an opportunity now to avenge a loss from last year against a Liberty team that was able to have some explosive plays offensively.
I think what it is, it gives us an opportunity for redemption. You know, we're 1-1 in this series. Who knows when we're going to play them again? And whoever wins this one's going to, I would imagine, would have bragging rights for a while. And it's going to be a good contest, and we're going to try to bring our A game.
Lastly, let's just finish on kind of the blight here, and that's the penalties. And I know it has you shaking your head. You even had an uncharacteristic penalty in the Rutgers game, and just miles and miles of penalties in the Albany game. What is the level of concern, first off?
Well, we're addressing it. We really are. We're going to try to be much, much better, and the results are going to be in the pudding after the game. And hopefully I'll have a big smile and I won't have a frown on my face when this is over about the penalty.
All right, that's the goal. No dang-its and fried noodles when you're done. Coach, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Matt.
Fried noodles, and then follow that up with some Perry's ice cream. Thanks for joining us on the Perry's Inside Scoop.